And what better person to talk to than Pete from the Iowa DOT to find out what's happening with the roads these days in North Iowa?
We've actually got some slick spots to the west of here. I mean, like just west of Mason City in the Forest City area, maybe a little bit in the Garner, Algona, Clarion, Latimer, Hampton area. We had a little bit of precipitation move through, so that's a little slick right now. But the crews are out, and we'll get everything back to seasonal conditions soon, and get geared up for what's coming in about 24, I suppose, 36 hours.
I saw something on the news or on my app or whatever. Things starting off to the west, a few states away, and they're saying like 6 to 12 inches on some of the places out there in
Out
Denver.
there, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I know they're supposed to get dumped on pretty hard, and I think we're supposed to get, anywhere 5 to 7 the way it sounds starting late afternoon, early evening tomorrow.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can hear everybody else clapping and cheering, right? The kids are going, yeah, another day out of school.
exactly. Yeah, it's very possible. I would definitely get up a little earlier on Thursday to see if you got to go to class or not. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be canceled by Wednesday night, depending on when it gets here.
Right, exactly. It depends on. I think a lot of times now the schools, Pete. I think if it's a warning, then they do cancel school.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure of the policies, but I do know that they definitely err on the side of caution, which is very good. There's no reason to have a bus full of kids out on the roads when there's bad weather out there, and and especially now that everybody's gone through the e-learning with COVID and everything, they can switch on the fly a lot easier than before, so they have options.
Man, I remember the days, Pete, and you probably do too. This is a bit back before cell phones, kids. And boy, we get up and listen to the radio or watch the TV and have it scrolling across the bottom or listen to the radio, and you're waiting for because they always did alphabetical order, still do to today. But and they
Yep.
skip over Garner, and you're going, come on.
Yeah, no, I think I've told the story before. I went to this is about 10 miles out of town where I had to drive into school, and we had a very small school, and he never ever ever canceled. Never.
Yeah, you know,
It was so bad that I remember one time that they did cancel the Fargo radio station, which was about an hour and a half from where I went to high school. He did cancel, and the guy reading the announcements literally stopped mid-sentence and said, "Wow, it must be really bad up there." So he had a reputation.
well, the funny thing was, half the kids. I grew up in Duncan,
Yep,
and so half the kids went to Garner, half the kids went to Britt.
gotcha.
Some went to Garner, had a Brit address, but they still went to Garner. Some had a Brit address and a Garner phone number. It was just confusing out there in Duncan.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, but because then you would be like, well, the kid halfway, not even a half mile down the street is not having to go to school, but I do. How's that work?
Well, maybe it was worse west of Duncan than it was east of Duncan.
Yeah, but if Brit cancels, Garner should cancel too.
Yeah, well, how many years ago was that, Jay? Just let it go, bud. You can
Just a
you can
couple,
let it go.
just a couple of years ago, Pete. That's all it was.
Gotcha.
right before cell phones.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah, speaking of which, we thought it was really, really cool. Our bus driver, he put a CB radio in his bus. So when he'd
oh,
get like a half mile or a mile from our house, he would call us on the CB radio so we knew we could go outside if it was cold or whatever. So we
oh,
were
look at
pretty
that.
high tech with the CB radios.
Do you remember what your bus driver's name was?
I do not. I
You
do
don't?
not. No,
Huh.
no.
How about that? Bill Young was
I
ours.
remember I remember his I remember his real name, yes. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about his CB radio name.
Oh.
No, Daryl Green.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Isn't that funny how we remember that?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Bill Young. He was our bus driver for many, many years.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. Yeah, they don't get the credit they deserve dealing with that many kids and road conditions and everything else, time schedules.
And I tell you what, they see things, they got eyes in the back of their head. They see everything
They
going on
do.
the bus.
I think that big mirror up above helps, but
Well, yeah, true. But yeah, hats off to all the bus drivers out there. I
big
mean,
time,
what
yes.
you guys got to go through and everything else. So, and I know we got a lot of school buses that listen to this show for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do wanna touch on again, I know we mentioned it briefly, but with the weather coming in, make sure you monitor conditions. It sounds like the worst of it will be during the commute Thursday morning, so give yourself extra time. Make sure that winter survival kit is packed up. Get the right air pressure in your tires. Today might be while everybody's going to the store to get milk and bread, go to the gas station and get that tank filled up so you are ready when everything hits Wednesday into Thursday. It's obviously nothing's a for sure thing, but the forecasters seem pretty confident with this one.
Well, they've done that before, Pete.
I know, but you've got to go with what they say. You got to be ready.
Right, exactly. And if you want road conditions, road report, don't forget about that 511ia.org and that mobile app you can download on your phone as well. Obviously, don't do it while you're driving, but you can check things out before you head out for work or school or wherever it might be. And kids, if mom and dad say, if you don't have school, that means the roads are bad. That doesn't mean you can get to come to Mason City and do some shopping.
Right, exactly. Yeah, definitely monitor the app. We'll keep it updated. It's updated. Our supervisors update it constantly. I know sometimes you see different breaks where different things are different conditions. And this morning's a perfect example. East of Mason City, the roads are green and seasonal. West of Mason City, a little while ago, they switched to blue where they were partially covered because we had that shot of precipitation move through. So things can change in a very short time period. Be aware of that. Also, be aware our crews are going to be out as early as 4:30 in the morning, and they will go start making their rounds. But you've also got to remember that each round takes a snowplow driver an hour and a half, 2 hours to complete, depending on the weather conditions. So just because plows are out, it could be an hour and a half, 2 hours since they've been where you're going to be. So
Right.
you've got to be aware of the conditions. They're out there. You can see it on the app. They are doing everything they can, but it's not instantaneous. So be aware of that, and
Right. Yeah.
make sure you keep that in your planning.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, Pete, as always, it's great to talk to you. And of course, our segment now is brought to you by Mason City All Risk Insurance. Dave and the whole crew there take care of you, whether it's agriculture or, if you need something for your automobiles, they can get you all taken care of.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one more thing we'll touch on quick, Pete. But
Yeah.
well, I tell you what, we probably put our stuff away already for the year, didn't we?
Oh, I have a tradition that I always wear it during the Super Bowl, just because one day it'll mean something.
Well, yeah. Horrible. I got a couple of friends that are Giants fans, and I'm sure I'm surprised that I didn't get any text messages, any phone calls, nothing.
No, those are good friends. Good friends understand what you're going through.
Well, one of them I know they're forgetful, so he probably just forgot.
No, funny.
Yeah, his name's Doug.
Yeah.
I got
Well,
to say
don't
that
get
so
me
he can remember his name.
there you go. Don't get me wrong, it was disappointing, but, I think if you remember a week ago today, I said we had to win the turnover battle.
What happened a week ago today?
I said we had to win the turnover battle
Oh
to
yeah,
win the game,
that's right.
and there were 0 turnovers, so we didn't lose it, but we didn't win it, and you, win that turnover battle, that's one less possession that, the Giants would have had, and they pretty much scored in every possession, so that would have made a difference.
And I know they would have. They did. Yeah. Backwards 100% ice covered south of Brett. How about that?
Yep.
Get a text message there from Steve.
Yep.
So
No, it's like we mentioned, we had that shot of precipitation go through a little while ago, and crews are out, but it's going to take a little while to make sure they get it cleaned off. The good thing is we have the temperatures where the salt brine should work pretty well, but again, it's going to take a little bit of time.
since our Vikings are out, Pete, who do you go for now for the Super Bowl?
Boy, I tell you what, it's really fun watching what Brock Purdy's doing. I have no problem cheering for San Francisco. Plus, obviously, I'm a huge George Kittle fan, and I think Christian McCaffrey is incredible, and Nick Bosa on defense. They're just loaded. They are so good.
Oh,
And the other side, it's hard not to. I've been a Buffalo fan anyway. Again, with the Iowa connections with AJ Epinesa and Micah Hyde, but it'll be fun to watch. Like I said, as much as I wish we were still playing, there's something relaxing about not really caring and just watching
yeah.
good football.
I know. I know. And I said it before the Vikings even lost. I said, if it comes down to it, because, if we would have won this weekend, we'd have lost next weekend
Yeah,
against the
pretty
49ers.
I agree with you. I don't
Yeah.
think we would have stood much of a chance there, but
Yeah.
the other thing I like to look at too is this coaching staff. They haven't even been there a year yet,
Yeah.
and the team they inherited went 15-19 the last 2 years. And they come in and take pretty much the same players and go, well, 13-5. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a big off season. We'll see what they do.
I know there's talk of some of the big names, household names, maybe going to be gone from the Vikings. Thielen's one of them, and I'm sad because I got his jersey. Now what am I going to do with it?
I have a lot of those. I quit buying jerseys, Jay. I got a lot of those. I have his jersey things in my closet.
Yeah, I only have 3, and this will be the last one that I got. Thielen was the last one I got. Otherwise, I got Jared Allen, and I've got Brett Favre.
I think the last one I bought was, and this tells you how long ago it's been, was actually, I don't even think I bought it. I got it as a gift. Chad Greenway.
Oh, really?
He was one of my favorite Hawkeyes, and he spent his entire career at Minnesota. So I figured that one I can wear it anytime.
Well, yeah. He's a super nice guy, too.
That's what I understand.
Yeah.
I've never met him, but I have not heard a bad word about him.
We should call him. I got his phone number.
You should do that.
Surprise him on a stream call.
Right, exactly. I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, he's probably getting the kids ready for school probably right now.
Probably is.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, good deal. There's always next year, Pete.
That's right. Hey, you got to remember at this point of the season, there's only one team that goes home happy. So.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, I think a lot of people are 49er fans now that are Vikings fan that are Vikings fans.
Yeah.
And because of the Iowa's connection with Iowa, when you got a Brock Purdy hitting Kittle in the end zone and scoring touchdowns and you go, man, wow. Imagine they were together in college.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's really fun to watch, and I would love to see it continue.
Yeah, me too. Well, Pete, have yourself a great week. Drive safe as the snow comes in here this next day or so.
All right, you do the same, and everybody just be ready for Wednesday night into Thursday morning.
Yeah, the Iowa DOT update brought to you by Mason City All Risk Insurance.
That's the good stuff.
Well, there's good stories all the time, and we've got. There we go.
Cool.
Yeah.